Hey everyone, this is Nathas, and I'm going to be opening another SolForge Fusion Kickstarter starter kit. So here I have another sealed Kickstarter starter kit. I've opened a couple so far on my channel, and I wanted to open up yet another one to see if I could get anything cool. Um, so this one I'm going to try to open a little bit quicker. Um, Lately I've been going through, kind of talking through the deck strategies and such. I want to try to do a little bit of a speed opening, where I'm just going to open the cards, make a few comments, but I might not necessarily go through and lay them all out, just to see kind of how this feels, see if I can get through some more decks, just because I really want to open some more. So I'm not going to go through and take as much time kind of talking through each deck's potential synergies and such. Um, we'll see. I might go right back into right after my next opening, doing the same thing of just going back and kind of doing a little bit more detail. But for right now, I just want to kind of open some decks, have some fun, and see if I could get anything cool for constructed play. So we're going to start with the Aloyan deck. Let me get these out of the way too. Alright, so we're starting with an Armored Sentry, Charge Plated Assassin, Electronet, Energy Prison, Energy Surge, Palladium Pulse Mage, Rallying Allomancer, Recycling Scavenger, Recycling Techno Hulk, War Machine. And we got a Steel Rosetta with Tinker at level 2, Enhance at level 3, and Repurpose at level 4. So the comment I'll make here specifically is that there's a lot of replacement synergy. So we've got War Machine, we've got multiple recycling creatures, and a rallying creature. The problem I have with this deck is there's a lot of things that want to replace. There's a lot of things like Palladium Pulse Mage just want to destroy my own cards, but there's really not a ton of ways to make a lot of minions. So this is a cool deck if I could do it with a very minion heavy deck. But other than that, it's something that will potentially kind of starve over itself and be really hard to gain advantage of in play. So that was the Alolan deck here. Next, I'm going to open Tempest. See if we can get anything cool. Specifically, an Omni would be fun, just because Kickstarter Omnis are a little more rare. Alright, so an Asir Mech Mage, Fit of Rage, Higher Song, Raging Invocust, Stampeding Ice Crusher, Stampeding Mongosaur, Stone Skin, Summoning Stormling, Thundersoar, Ronti Heartseeker, and we've got a Sunder with Stimbolt at level 2, Ice Armor at level 3, and Summon the Swarm at level 4. So the one thing I really like about this deck are there's some strong spells, such as Stone Skin, Pyre Song, Fit of Rage, but having Invocust and Mech Mage in the same deck could always be really cool, especially if you're playing a spell-heavy deck. Just being able to ping your opponents. There's a lot of decks that would just really enjoy having this pairing. Plus, you have some other strong cards like Stampeding Ice Crusher, which have aggressive and breakthrough. You've got Thundersoar, which has breakthrough. Uranti Heartseeker, which can give your creatures breakthrough. This is one that would be really aggressive and fun to play, especially if you could find the right pairing for it. So I actually really like this Tempest deck. So next we're going to go with our Utera deck. We've got a Kickstarter Spellstorm here. So we're starting with a Botanimate, Dendrify, Experience Steelplate, Ferocious Roar, Lowhive Siren, Regenerating Raptor, Shifting Bear, Shroudthorn Splicer, Spring Dryad, Stout Batterhide. And finally, we have a Nova with Nova's Wrath at level 2, Nova's Might at level 3, and Nova's Touch at level 4. So this Utera deck, it's okay. Like, it's definitely some really strong cards in it. Like, you can gain life with Spring Dryad, you can blink cards with your Batterhides, but overall, there's not a lot of ways to really push a lot of damage, which is really strong. Like, granted, you have Spring Dryad, which could break through, the Splicer, which could break through, but like you have a couple different synergies here, which can work well together. Like you have your Botanimate, which is removal. You could use Dendrify as pseudo removal or something like a Rumble Spark or Rumble Spark. Um, but overall, this isn't a deck that's like really exciting to me. That being said, this would be a lot of fun to play in more of like a sealed format. So it's an interesting Utera deck, but nothing super crazy going on that makes me immediately want to play it in a constructed setting. So finally, we've got our Necrom deck, and we have a Blight Witch here, which is fun because that's a card that's not in set 2. So let's start with the Blight Witch. We have a Camouflage Reaper, Circe's Call, Discian Siphon, Grimgaunt Predator, Om Nom Nom, Spite Hydra, Stout Creeper, Stout Demon, Vyric's Embrace. Then finally we have a Circe with Soul Siphon at level 2, Army Commander at level 3, and Life Drain at level 4. So looking at this deck, there are a few spells for the Blight Witch, which is nice. Having 2 Stout creatures can be a little bit rough. Specifically, Stout Demon is not a card I'm really excited about. Creeper is always pretty good, but basically having a 4/16 isn't going to be super helpful for me late game. But having my Blight Witch, which I could destroy creatures, then play a Spite Hydra, which gets bigger, can be nice. There are quite a few spells here for that Blight Witch to take advantage of. And then, obviously, if any of my creatures can deal damage, then the Camouflage Reaper can be really strong. So if I could play the Camouflage Reaper on Forge, it deals damage, it will buff itself, especially because it has stealth. So this is definitely an interesting deck. I like it because it has Blight Witch, although this isn't one that I would necessarily look to pair with something else. But that being said, the few stealth creatures with the camouflaged and a relatively strong spell suite, although there's no like direct removal, this could be a fun deck to play for sure, and it's one that I would definitely consider in more of a sealed format. So that one I did a little bit quicker. I still talked a little bit about the decks, but I really just wanted to kind of get through them, see if I opened anything really constructive or constructive relevant. But yeah, so I'll probably try to do a couple like this just to get through a couple more of the sealed decks I have. I have a lot of sealed Kickstarter right now. I think I currently have over 3 cases sitting behind me because I ended up picking up a lot of it. So I'll try to get through some of it. I might keep some sealed just as like a collector's item, but this was definitely a lot of fun. So thank you for tuning in. I'll probably be opening some more Kickstarter very soon.